Your body, your bank account, your social circle, your dating life, your job title, your business, your mindset. Yeah, they all f***ing suck. Right now, you're chilling on your bed, or you're sitting on the toilet, or you're just laying on a couch somewhere, and you're watching video after video, and you still can't find a way to take action on your goals. Those motivational TED Talks and those David Goggins just be hard, man videos, they're not really working for you, because if they were, you'd currently be running a 100-mile ultra marathon and listening to the psychology of how to be hyper productive. But the reality is, you're not making any progress towards your goals because you don't have a system for even starting them, let alone accomplishing them. Well, you've finally found a video with an actionable concept that is finally going to change everything for you. And that concept is first, who am I and why should you listen? Well, my name is Spencer and I'm the COO that took our company to $30 million in sales in just about 30 months. And today I'm going to explain why you can't seem to take action on those goals, even though you've tried and tried and tried and tried. And what's more is that if you stay till the end of this video, I'm gonna do something very special for you. I'm going to give you an exact breakdown of the science-backed system that I used to ensure that I succeeded in teaching myself one of the hardest languages to learn on earth, making a whopping multiple 6 figures a year in income, getting a physique that I'm proud of, and building a circle of friends in high places. So if any of that sounds like something that you might want, then don't just skip to the end, because without context, you're gonna be left in a worse position than where you started. Okay, boys, let's jump in. This system is called Chrono Cueing. Chrono Cueing is essentially strategically taking the time to plan when you're gonna get things done, but with a special twist. All of your plans to be executed tomorrow find their origin in your pre-planned weekly goals. Your weekly goals find their origin in your pre-selected monthly goals. Your monthly goals find their origin in your pre-selected yearly effort-based goals, which find their origin in the massive goals that you want to accomplish before you have no more time left on this earth to do so. Okay, so I'm gonna break all of that down here in just a minute, but before I do, let's get into where the name comes from, Chrono Cueing. So chrono comes from the word time, and cueing comes from trigger to take an action. This is kind of like the way actors do when they're on a stage and they have a cue to do their next line. Now again, we're about to get into how Chrono Cueing works, but let's first really dive into why you haven't been able to take action in the past. And first off, I don't even blame you, because you probably don't even realize there are 2 big subconscious reasons why you're self-sabotaging setting high quality goals in the first place. The first reason why you're failing to take action is in the past, when you've looked to set big goals, you've probably listened to these fake gurus who are telling you that you need to use your willpower to get it done. Now, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this whole time you should have been relying on a system of accountability like Chrono Cueing. Because look, we both know this. Your willpower is gonna run dry, or maybe you're gonna miss a day, and probably for a good reason too. The day is gonna turn into a week, which turns into a month, which turns into your entire life. Now, this is how your bitter old relative that never did anything with their lives got as bitter as they are. But the second main reason why you're not setting quality goals is because you're not taking the time to set specific goals. And the reason for that is psychologically, when we set big goals, 2 really scary things happen to us. The first one is now you have a target, so when you miss, it shows you just how off the target you were. This can obviously hurt our egos and make people see us as a failure. But the other psychological reason is your whole life you've been fed that you could go anywhere or do anything, and it's just this infinite potential of what you could become. But by setting specific goals for your future, you have to say no to the infinity of possibilities, and sometimes yes to just a single thing. To your subconscious mind, this makes the fact that you won't live forever feel very real. So this whole time, subconsciously, you've been resisting setting specific goals. So just a quick recap. First off, about willpower. You've already been using that strategy and it has not been working for you. But the other massive explanation as to why you haven't been making progress in your life is because you've been unknowingly wrestling against your subconscious this entire time. Well, again, you're in luck, because as promised, at the end of this video, I'm gonna give you my exact breakdown of how I use Chrono Cueing to make sure this never happens again for you. Honestly, once you actually learn the process of Chrono Cueing, you're gonna be able to apply it to any goal that you want to accomplish for the rest of your life. It's an ironclad strategy for getting you to where you want to go in your life, and your subconscious will actually support you, because with Chrono Cueing, every single day you see how you're getting closer and closer and closer to that bullseye. In fact, earlier I spoke about how I learned an entire new language using the Chrono Cueing process. So here's that story real quick. As some of you might know, about a year and a half to 2 years ago, I decided to pick up one of the hardest languages for English native speakers to learn to speak. Obviously, I'm a sick man and I wanted to exercise practice on my delayed gratification muscle. So I chose from the list of hardest languages. The result was that I started teaching myself, drum roll please, Japanese. Now I already knew from working out when I was younger that the way I should set my goal to accomplish this was effort-based goals. Meaning, instead of setting a goal as to when I would be fluent, I just said that I was gonna put in an average of an hour a day every single day for a year. This then divided into monthly targets of 30 hours per month. So weekly, I would review my spreadsheet where I would enter in all of the Japanese that I had studied for that week, and so that I could plan for next week and see if I needed to increase or decrease the amount for the coming week so that I could make up for anything that I missed or overdid last week. And then daily, I would choose when tomorrow I would fit in my 1 hour of studying to make sure I was on track for that weekly checkpoint, which would file back to that monthly checkpoint, which would file back to the kind of year's goal of doing an hour a day on average.
さて、英語を母国語として日本語を学ぶ人なら誰でもそれがどれ
Now, anyone learning Japanese as a native English speaker knows how challenging it can be, but little by little, I got better. And now I regularly have full Japanese conversations with native Japanese speakers. Now, I'm not a pro by any means, and I definitely make more mistakes than not when speaking the language, but I can tell you this. If I had told myself I will have native-like fluency within a year or two, I would have given up somewhere along the way because that's not a realistic result that I could expect for the time that I was able to give the endeavor. But thankfully, I set effort-based goals and used Chrono Cueing to get me to where I am today. Now, even though you might be applying Chrono Cueing to starting a business or working out, getting a girlfriend, or any other goal that matters to you, the beauty of what I'm saying to you is that the Chrono Cueing process can be applied the exact same across all of these situations. Now, hey, if you made it this far in the video, you're someone who's clearly serious about taking action on their goals. So as promised at the beginning of this video, here's the exact breakdown of how you're going to use Chrono Cueing to get to those goals. Go into your calendar and look at the next 24 hours. I want you to choose a 90-minute slot. Pick also where you're going to sit for this 90-minute slot, so be intentional. And when that 90-minute slot comes around, here's what I want you to do. On a piece of paper, I want you to write down 10 things that you know that you want to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years. Next, from your list of 10, I want you to select 3 of those things. Now, for each one of those things, I want you to back solve and I want you to divide them into 3 to 5 milestones each, obviously depending on the size of the goal. Take the first milestone of the first goal and describe the kind of effort that would need to be applied to achieve it. For example, to learn Japanese, I looked online and I was confident that I needed about 2,500 hours of study to achieve fluency. Now set monthly benchmarks for applying that effort and create a spreadsheet or a tracker that will be used to monitor that effort. Now weekly, I want you to choose a time for 20 minutes where you're going to put your phone and other distractions away and review your week's performance. If you fell short, you're going to need to do more in the coming week. Now at the end of each day, make it a habit to take 5 minutes to choose exactly where and at what time you're going to start and how long you're going to work for the following day. Now be realistic here, guys. Always remember that the mediocre system that you actually do is a whole lot better than the ideal system that you don't. Now, lastly, and this is optional, choose the time every single day where you're going to plan the following day. So in that last step, how I said, hey, choose what time you're going to work for tomorrow, also select the time that you're going to plan for the next day. And this is really the whole scheduled part in scheduled planning or Chrono Cueing. And guys, that's Chrono Cueing. There you have it. Now, you might be behind the screen saying, Spencer, Chrono Cueing sounds awesome, but the issue is I can't get myself to do that first step because I'm such a procrastinator that I can never just get that first domino knocked down. Well, listen, I understand that making that first move can be really hard, especially if you're a procrastinator. That's why in about 10 seconds after this video, I'm going to put a video up on your screen made for you to get that motivation to start that first step. So if that's you, wait until the end of this video and I'll throw that up for you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become. Always remember that your potential is your obligation, so what you can become, you must become.